Hello and welcome. Right now is the right time for some Write Talk, where writers share with writers about this writing challenge, the chaotic, challenging, sometimes confusing writing journey. I am Katherine Lang. I am a full-time freelance writer, an award-winning author, and I'm an encourager extraordinaire. And I am here to be the one that tells you that you can write. You are a writer. And we will find a way to get those words flowing for you for this journey. Now, I have been talking lately a lot about the tips that you need, or the tips that I utilize to get organized to write, because November is National Novel Writing Month, and the challenge is to write a full novel in 1 month. Now, that's the full novel they consider to be 50,000 words, which really, when you break it down into those bite-sized pieces, those once-a-day pieces, is not that many words for most of us, or for some of us. It's about 1,700 words, and it really can be accomplished in around an hour a day if you focus during that hour. So we've been trying to work on getting the right focus we need to get the words flowing and to get the words done in this November challenge. One of the suggestions I made last time we were together was that you listen to what other people say and then you make it your own, because each of us are on our own unique journey. And if I try to force myself to fit into the plans and suggestions of somebody else, then all I end up doing is get frustrated. And the last few days I have been in a very weird place in my journey. I just haven't wanted to do. Nothing has really stopped me and nothing has really gotten in my way. I've just been in one of those heavy places until this morning. And this morning I was reminded that I can. A friend of mine shared a meme on Facebook, and it was just the inspiration I needed to share that I can. And if I can, I know that you can. And in sharing with her sharing, she allowed me to come and share with you. So I'm going to share a few more of my tips, and I'm going to encourage you to find your way to utilize these tips to get it done for you. So the first one is to start with a schedule. I have a really good friend who absolutely hates schedules, and I can understand why. She has one of those lives that it can be almost impossible to know what her work is going to be that day, what her children are going to need from her that day because she does homeschool, and what her husband is going to ask her to do that day because he works from home. So it can be frustrating for her to make a schedule and to have a plan, and then to have her family come in and just totally disrupt everything that she was going to do. I get that. But I also get that if I don't have a schedule, if I don't have some kind of structure to where I am going and what I'm doing, then I am never going to get to where I'm going, and I will never accomplish what I want to do. So my suggestion to her was that she have a basic outline, not a detailed outline. In other words, she's not going to say from 5 to 7 she's going to work, and from 7 to 9 they're going to do school, and from 9 to 12 they're going to do PE. It's going to be, we're going to get school done, work done, and whatever. It's just kind of a basic rough outline. And in using that basic outline, she has a very firm goal as to what she wants to accomplish. But she has the flexibility to do it in the time that she can discover. I use a very similar idea for my schedule, but I do have a schedule. So in the morning I get up, I do my morning routine. It takes about an hour and a half. Then I do any recordings or any script writing that I need to get done. If I don't have to do any recordings or script writings that morning, then I work on my blog posts. My book writing is reserved for those times when I'm taking the kids on activities, or when I have a block of time that I can really sink my teeth into the writing. Blog posts take me about 30 minutes, whereas when I'm writing on a book, I want to spend a little more time in it. But I have a schedule. What I have discovered is that my idea of a schedule does not always match other people's ideas of what a schedule looks like. My husband is a very detailed oriented person, and that has served us well in our marriage because I am not so much that kind of detail oriented person in the areas that he is. The other day, he asked me if we had a schedule for the schooling and for myself, and I said, yes, we do. And he said, I need to look at it. And I told him no, because my idea of a schedule and his idea of schedule are so very different. And I knew it was going to cause a conflict, not just for him, but for me, because then I'm going to try to adjust my schedule to fit into what he considers a schedule. The schedule that we have is very flexible, but very firm. We know what we have to accomplish in that day. That includes chores. And if our chores don't get done in the daily allotment, then we have to do it on Saturday when there's nothing else scheduled. We have to come in and we have to do what we didn't get done during the week. So we have a schedule that works for us. But I promise you, the schedule that you're going to create for you, they are going to look at you like that's not a schedule. It doesn't have to fit into the parameters they have determined. It is your schedule. Make it what works for you, because if it doesn't work for you, you won't work it. Okay, the second thing that I have done, and that I think is probably one of the most important parts of becoming a writer, is that you have to define what it means to succeed as a writer. I was told that being a successful writer meant that you got a publishing contract. I was told that being a successful writer meant that you worked for a magazine or a newspaper. I was told a lot of things about what it meant to be a successful writer, but none of those work for me. None of those fit into not only what I want, but none of them fit into where I am going. And so I had to sit down and determine, what did a successful writing career look like for me? Well, I love to tell stories. So writing fiction and getting fiction out there is great. But what I found was that my real success for me is in sharing the spoken word, which requires writing because I have to get the scripts down. So that kind of was where my shift is. But if you don't know what your success looks like, then you're always going to be chasing somebody else's success. And that's always going to leave you frustrated. And when you're frustrated, it is almost impossible to get the words flowing. So take a moment right now, right after we close out this program, and really think about what success looks like for you. What does it mean? Is it a particular amount of money? Is it a particular amount of influence? Is it a particular amount of opportunities? No matter what it means, you need to define it for yourself. Okay, the third thing we're going to do is we're going to create our own challenge. And the reason we do this is because when we're challenged to do something that we aren't normally doing, then we will push ourselves to that next level. Now, I have created my November Have You Lost Your Mind challenge. And the reason I call it that is because last year I wrote 1,000,000 words in 1 year. And this year I have been struggling to get to that level. I know I can. I've been distracted by so many squirrels that I haven't been doing what I needed to do. So this November, I'm going to really kick up my word count and get me closer to that 1,000,000 word goal. So this is my November. Now remember, November's National Novel Writing Month. I have a novel I want to work on, but my husband has a novel he wants me to work on. So I have determined I'm going to do both novels. So I've got novel 1 that I'm going to work on in November. Novel 2 I'm going to work on. I'm going to commit to 1 blog a day so that I get 30 blogs done in the month of November. I am going to commit to writing 1 blog a day for my second website, which means I'm writing 2 blog posts a day. I'm also going to write for my third website. So that's 3 blog posts, 2 novels, 3 blog posts. But I'm not done. I'm also going to take a photo image every single day. And there's several different challenges. I've seen photo challenges, and I'm going to download one of those. I'm also going to take one of the sketch and drawing challenges that I've seen. I'm going to have that. I'm making a folder, by the way, so I can keep up with all this. I'm going to take 5,000 steps a day. And finally, I'm going to make a list of 30 decluttering projects, like a drawer or a cabinet or a shelf. And I'm going to take on a decluttering task every single day. So I have all this written down and I'm making a notebook so I can check it all off because I know I can do it. I know it's something that I can, if I determine I'm going to do it. And once I make this challenge and you make your challenge, then tell somebody. See, I've told you. Now you can say, hey, have you marked off your, have you lost your mind challenge list today? And I will either say, no, I've lost my mind, or I will say, yes, I've accomplished it. But the idea is that you find something that you want to accomplish, whether it's writing the novel with the National Novel Writing Month, or it is writing a blog post a day for a 30 blog post completion. Do something that's going to get you doing every single day. Now, the fourth thing you need to do, and that I'm working on, is being honest with myself about my limits. I did put down how many hours I think it's going to take me to do everything on this challenge list. And it's going to be almost 7 hours, which is a work day. So, I mean, I should be able to accomplish a work day, right? But I also added in my morning routine and my evening routines that I started because of RJ and because of Chris. And that adds up to another 2.5 hours. And I have to feed the family because they get mad when I don't. So that's another 2 hours. And I still have to get things done work-wise. So that's another 4 hours. But let's be honest, even with all of that added in, I'm still only up to like, I think 15 hours. Let's see, 7, 12, yeah, 15 hours I think is what I came up with. Which means I have more than enough time to sleep and get in some relaxation. So there's no excuse. The only excuse is me. I haven't done what I know I can do. And I know that this challenge is going to push me to that next level. And that's what a challenge needs to do. But I've been honest about the amount of time I have so that I can get it done. And I'm slowly beginning to work into it. Instead of just diving in on November 1st, I'm doing a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here. So I'm getting closer to where I need to be in order to fulfill this challenge. And the final thing is to be flexible. And I mentioned this earlier because of my friend who hates schedules. Schedules are not about dictating the journey. Schedules are about structuring the journey. They're to help me see where I'm going and to help me get there. But if I become a slave to the schedule, then I've defeated the purpose. The schedule is supposed to be a tool to benefit me. I'm not here for the schedule. The schedule's here to help me. And if it's not helping me, then it's time to adjust the schedule. That's where the flexibility comes in. I have my children, we have a lot of things going on. We've just started back to school. The younger boys have activities. The youngest boy has to be driven. The two older boys can drive themselves places. The oldest son has college stuff. He has scholarship requirements. There's always someone going somewhere and something going on. Unless there's not. And yesterday is normally a go day. We're gone all day long. We're doing something all day long. So I got up, I got prepared, I got everything in order, and I got ready to get everybody up and going. And my oldest son said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. I don't have any classes today," which changed my whole schedule. Now, if I had been a slave to the schedule, I would have freaked out. But because I was not a slave to the schedule, the schedule's there for me, I just adjusted. I just pivoted. I just did something else that I knew I wanted to do, but wasn't going to be allotted for the day because of the craziness. And I did that, and I focused on that, and my day went just fine. We got a lot accomplished. Probably could have gotten more done, but I still got a lot accomplished. And that's the key, being flexible in this journey. Being flexible in the writing journey sometimes means that I have to write nonfiction when I really wanted to write a great fiction story. I work for someone else as a content writer instead of focusing on just writing my next novel. Words can be a great way to build a living, but I have to be willing, just like with my schedule, I have to be willing to be flexible. So flexibility is key in this journey. I am building a successful freelance writing career. I have done it in the past where I was making 6 figures. I am now working back towards that as an author and a freelancer and a coach. But I'm finding my own way. instead of trying to do it like everybody else has done it, or like he says I should or she says I should. I'm taking bits and pieces and I'm making my journey work for me. I want to help you make your journey work for you because that's the only way it's ever going to work. Join me over at successfulfreelancewriter.com. That's the website for the Successful Freelance Writer. We also have a Facebook group you can join. I regularly share tips and ideas and more, suggestions about places that you can query or books that can be used to help you build your platform. The key is to find the tools you need to build the success that you want. Again, your success, not my definition. And I try to help with that as much as possible. I also open up the platform for you to share. I want to hear what you have to say about this writing journey because there are so many different elements to this journey and there's so many different ways it can happen. I can't tell you everything and I can't share everything because I haven't experienced everything. I want to hear what others have to say. I want to learn from you because that's the only way I'm going to continue to grow. So I do accept guest submissions to Successful Freelance Writer. So I would love for you to drop in and share your story. How are you getting organized right? What challenge are you going to do? How are you going to make this writing journey work for you and with you? The more that we share together, the more that we work together, the stronger we will be in getting to where we want to go. Are you ready to take your next step? Now, if you're ready and you're not sure what that next step looks like, I've got the perfect suggestion. Let's talk. Let's you and me sit down and have a conversation and knock out some real practical steps specifically for your journey that will help you get to where you want to go. I offer a free Jumpstart Consultation. All you have to do is go over to catherinelang.com/consult and sign up today. It's that easy and it's completely free. I have struggled in the past to really get going with my words. I started writing when I was 17, but I didn't earn my first check until I was in my 30s. And the reason is because I didn't know how to get there. I had no idea what steps to take, and I had nobody to mentor me down this road. And it was only after I started connecting with people that had been there and had done that and that were willing to give me my own tips and help me in this journey that I started making a living. I know that you can do it. I know that you have it in you. And I want to see you flourish as this writer that you desire to be, whether it's nonfiction or fiction or content or copy or your own website. The words are what are important, and you have them in you right now. Let's work together to get them out. And remember, November, National Novel Writing Month. Try it. Even if you're not a fiction writer, try it because it challenges you to be more than you are right now. And as we push past where we are, we begin to become all that we're designed to be. That's what it's about. That's what Right Talk is about. That is what growing up this uniqueness that is in you is all about. You can do it. You are a writer. You have it in you right now. So get writing. Thank you so much for joining Right Talk today. I am Catherine Lang. I am the Successful Freelance Writer. Join me over at successfulfreelancewriter.com and be sure to share your thoughts, your ideas, and sign up for the newsletter so we can stay connected. Remember, we'll be back on Mondays and Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. Central Time for Right Talk. Be watching for the Right Talk podcast that will be coming out. And be sure to share with your friends and your family. Until then, write on.